I'm going to go ahead with the meeting beginning ritual. 起立，面向佛堂，参加先鞠躬，一鞠躬，再鞠躬，三鞠躬，参加各位的传世一鞠躬，开班一鞠躬，请坐下。Here I can summarize for you the most common ones, the top 5. Number 1, I wish I had the courage to live a life true to myself, not the life others expected of me. Let me explain what that means. So almost everyone has ideals and dreams. This was the number 1 most common regret that applied to all of her patients, males and females alike. They all talked about the dreams that they once had. You know, these ideals and these visions that they wish would come true, that they would work on someday. Now, most of these dreams have gone unfulfilled. This is because for the vast majority of people, when they go through life, they keep putting things off. They keep putting off these dreams. Yes, I would like to do X, Y, Z, but I can't do that yet, and therefore I have to wait. They keep waiting and waiting and waiting, neglecting these dreams until one day, when they realize that they are now too old, too sick, too frail, they're beginning to develop a whole bunch of health issues because of age. At that point, they no longer have the energy, the time, the frame of mind, the strength to be able to devote themselves to these dreams. So all they then have is regrets. So that's number 1. Wish I had the courage to live true to myself. It means to live up to my dreams. So, and let me also say it the other way. I have seen examples of people who do fulfill their dreams without waiting for the quote-unquote the right time. That for them, you know, the nearest possible future, that is the right time. Bill is not able to speak with us today, but people who encounter Bill, they often say, wow, he's a master. I can tell he's a master because when things go wrong, he's always so calm. He's handling it. And they also note that Bill is always so joyous. He's always so happy. You know, such a jolly fellow. How is that? Well, I can tell you one thing. Bill's dream has always been to share the Tao with other people, to help them as it has helped him. So think about what he's usually doing these weekends that we share together. He's usually talking about that. And offline, he's also providing people with counseling. He's also responding to emails, answering people's questions. This is exactly what his dream is. So in a real sense, he's living his dream. That is why he's so happy. Other people have different dreams. You know, one person may have a dream of traveling the world, see different things, different places, meet different people. Some wait until they can afford such a trip or that they are ready to take on such a trip. Others take that trip now. So why are they happy? Because they are living their dreams. So don't go to your deathbed regretting that there was something that you could have done but haven't. Think about what you can do today to begin fulfilling those dreams. If, like Bill, like me, like Ed, your dream is to share the Tao with other people, don't wait on that. You know, talk to one of us about what you want to do to contribute to the effort. There's always something that you can nominate yourself to do, that you can volunteer yourself to do. Now, your dream doesn't have to be like mine or Bill's to share the Tao with other people. It could be something else entirely. It could be arts, could be music, could be creativity oriented, it could be something else, or it could be, perhaps it is possible to combine that with the Tao in some way. Whatever the case may be, I leave it up to you. This is entirely up to you. It's a choice. This theme you're going to hear over and over again. It's a choice. So many things that we're not used to thinking about as a choice are actually choices in life. I'll talk about that more later on in this very slide and also later on in chapter 50. Let's talk about regret number 2. I wish I didn't work so hard. And this was something that the nurse heard from all the men, from all the male patients. Now, of course, these gentlemen are from the generation where it's usually the men who are the breadwinners, and therefore they devoted themselves to their careers. But at the end of life, uniformly, they all say, I wish I didn't spend that much time at work. I wish I made it possible to spend more time with family, to spend time on the people who are truly worthwhile, because there's always going to be more work, but time that you miss with the family, that's not coming back. So when I say they missed out on too much, what I mean is they missed out on the precious moments, the quote-unquote the Kodak moments of life, the moments that as your kids grow older, they're never going to be that young again. So this one I absolutely agree with, even though Janice and I have decided to not have any kids. If we did have kids, it will be like that. It will be a lot of time spent with them as opposed to, material presence. Number 3, I wish I had the courage to express my feelings. Number 3 is the one that I found to be closest to number 2 in the previous slide. The self-expression, expressing what you truly believe. Most people just go along to get along. Most people suppress how they truly feel and don't express themselves. Now, I want to leave a little bit of room here. In the previous slide about handling racism, that answer that I framed for the original person asking the question was appropriate to him and also appropriate to my friend from years ago, because they were very strenuously, very strongly objecting to those expressions of racism. So it was appropriate for them to let the other party know. I can see that different people will approach the topic differently. I can respect someone who says, well, I'm opposed to racism, but I actually don't feel that I need to speak out against it because I am certain that karma will take care of the incident for me. Or people are always going to be people. I'm going to have to focus on myself. Fine. I totally respect that. I absolutely respect that. You don't have to follow the same advice that I gave to someone else that was tailored to that person's orientation, that person's perspective. On the other hand, I want to also point to number 3 here and say that if you do feel strongly about it, so in my friend's case, the person expressing the racist views was very popular, so he didn't want to alienate her and all of her friends, a whole bunch of people. I can also see the possibility that, maybe this person is actually your supervisor, your manager, and you would jeopardize your own income by speaking out against it. We see this all the time, actually. There are, for instance, sexual harassment lawsuits where the lawsuit is filed against someone higher up in a more powerful position who's nevertheless cracking all kinds of embarrassing jokes that are not appropriate to the office. So what do? That's such a dilemma. Well, think about what happens on your deathbed. Is this, if you suppress it, if you do not speak out, will you regret not speaking out when you are about to die? That is the ultimate test. If if you have the conviction that, no, I don't have to take action, other people, it's all going to work itself out. Okay, that's fine. I do want to make sure that if you feel strongly about it, that you don't carry it to your deathbed like many of the patients of this particular nurse. So number 3, having the courage to express how you truly feel. Suppression, not a good idea. If you feel strongly about it, suppressing those feelings will only lead to bitterness and resentment, and that's going to be your entire lifetime. Not recommended. Number 4, I wish I stayed in touch with my friends, and this is because, life happens, people get busy, people forget about the friendships that they had, and these personal connections are neglected, and sometimes you go for months, even years, without reconnecting with an old friend. So before you know it, maybe a decade or 2 has passed, and then it's too late to reconnect with that person. So at the end of life, many of these people look back on that and wish they had done it differently, wish they had expended the effort, and it could just be like a phone call once in a while, maybe a phone call once every few days. In this day and age, it could just be an email. It won't take you more than a few seconds to reconnect, reestablish contact. So if you have people like that in your life, people that you haven't talked to in a while, but you used to be really good friends, really close friends, then it's a very good idea to invest the few seconds it will take to write a super short email message, or I don't know, like a Facebook private message, to the effect of, hey, how's it going? Long time no talk. That's all it would take to reconnect. Number 5, I wish I let myself be happier. So this is the theme that I mentioned before, that so many things in life we don't necessarily consider to be a choice, but actually are choices. In this case, there are many people who don't realize that they can choose to be happy. They can give themselves permission to be happy. They can allow happiness into their lives. So happiness, many people have the conception of, if only, pardon me, if only things will improve, then I can be happy. If only I can make more money, then I will be happy. If only so-and-so doesn't show up in my life, then I will be happy. So that is not where the Tao is at. The Tao says you are not a passive victim. You are an active participant who can influence the outcome of anything, including happiness. So you can choose to be happy. You can simply make a decision that you want to take steps to not let yourself get into a rut, not spin your wheels, not let other people get you down. Let yourself be happier. So I would say spend some time, think about how to do that. Do not be carrying any of these 5 regrets with you to your deathbed. Life is too short, literally. Let's go ahead and do the meeting ending ritual, everybody. 起立，面向佛堂，持架3鞠躬，一鞠躬，再鞠躬，3鞠躬，持架规则是1鞠躬，接班1鞠躬。Okay, everybody, we are done.
Participate in the Tao meeting by joining us online. For information, go to taoism.net/Tao